Even though the main fighting had stopped, the political situation was filled with fear and apprehension. And there were threats made or threats perceived by politicians that they were going to be targeted, they were going to be killed. And political assassination occurred in Cambodia. And there had been politicians shot down on the streets while I was there. And on one afternoon, a Cambodian American woman named Mu Sakua, who was part of the Funcinpec royalist movement, said, I need to urgently come and see you, Ambassador. And she came there and she brought with her a Cambodian politician named Kem Sokha. So they arrive at my house, they come into my residence, we're sitting in a drawing room, and Mu Sakua is saying to me, Kem Sokha is going to be assassinated by the Hun Sen government, by the Cambodian People's Party. He's been marked for death and needs to be protected. I brought him here for you, and I ask you to protect him. So Cambodian politics were so devious that even if I didn't believe that the Cambodian People's Party planned to kill Kem Sokha, and in fact, I didn't believe that, there was a very great possibility that he'd be killed by people within his own party just to blame it on the Cambodian People's Party. And in such a situation, it would be said, oh, we brought him to the American ambassador, we told him he's marked for assassination, and the ambassador didn't believe us, sent us away, and then he was killed. So, knowing of these possible outcomes, not being able to be certain which is the reality, I determined I would need to protect Kem Sokha. So the first thing I did was I told the woman, Mu Sakua, you need to leave. I'll deal with this from here on. And she didn't want to at first, and I said, you can't stay. Whatever I'm going to do with Kem Sokha is between me and him. And so she left. And so I said to Kem Sokha, I'm prepared to protect you, and I want you to stay here in my residence. So I kept him there for a day, a night. But that's not a really long-term tenable situation, because a diplomatic residence isn't the same as an embassy. The police could come and search, take him away. So we had to take him to our embassy. And to get him there would mean potentially being exposed to police, stopping us, arresting him, shooting up our cars. We had had an incident just a week earlier where some of our Khmer embassy staff went out to help some Cambodians. The police told them to stop. They didn't, and they shot up the vehicle, 40 or 50 bullet holes in it. So it's real serious situation in Cambodia. People are shooting first and asking questions later. And so we organized an operation. And I had 3 other embassy officers, my deputy, young woman, the deputy chief of mission, the number 2. I had a senior political officer, and I had our security officer. And I said, what we're going to do is we're going to take 3 cars. We're going to put him in one. We're going to drive out of my residence, 1, 2, 3. We're going to go in different directions. And the car with him in it is going to go to the embassy, and we'll take him in the door there. But we don't know what will happen. We may be stopped by the police. So my judgment is, for your safety, you can't have any weapons. You can't take a gun with you, not even a handgun. And you have to tell me now whether you would be prepared to do that, or if you feel you need to have a gun, because we can't have a situation later where you're saying, oh, I knew I needed a gun, but the ambassador wouldn't let me have it. So the young woman said, I don't need a gun. And I said, nobody has to go. Everyone's a volunteer. She said, I volunteer. I don't need a gun. The political officer said, I volunteer. I don't need a gun. Security officer said, I feel I'd need a gun. And I said, thank you for your candor. Thank you for being honest, for being loyal to me by being straightforward. You can't be in the operation. You can help us plan it, but you can't be out in one of the cars. So we went to my residence. We got the 3 cars, put him in the car with the woman, the deputy ambassador. I put my flags up on mine, thinking I would get the most attention. I drove out. My driver went one way. The political officer went out, turned another way. The 3rd car with the deputy ambassador in it and Kem Sokha went out down towards the embassy, sent the word, the guards opened the gate, drove inside. We got him there safely. We kept Kem Sokha in our embassy for 2 months, bringing in food, keeping him there till he's safe, not allowing him to communicate with people outside, not bringing any attention. And I said to him, you can stay as long as you need. I tried to go out and talk to people in the government about whether he'd be safe or get assurances about his safety without saying I had him. And eventually, about 2 months later, Kem Sokha said, I think it's safe for me to leave. And so on a Saturday night, as it was starting to get dark, put him in a car, drove out down to near where his home was. He said to the officer, stop here. Got out of the car, kind of walked off in the darkness to his home. Still alive today in 2019, in and out of politics, still getting into controversial things, but still involved, still alive, still functioning. And he has kept his word to me, as I have to him. Never said anything about who protected him, where he was, how he was kept safe. That was the deal. I feel very good that we were able to keep someone who believed he was about to be killed, and may well have been about to be killed, alive in that situation.